Time for a check-in. Today's topic is all about mental health.
This program is made possible in part by the state of Michigan and by viewers like you. Thank you.
Some of us aren't here to make friends. Students sign their name to make it their own.
Really, this show is about hearing from us.
How do you check on your friends when you think they need help?
I just ask them, are you okay? And if I feel like they're lying, I ask them again if they're okay. Because you can tell when someone's lying just by the sparkle in their eyes. That's how you can tell they're lying about their mental health.
How do you separate inquiring and invasion? How do you know when to stop asking that?
If you notice they start to get like worked up,
Yeah.
or if you see like their mood drastically change, then just hit them with that. If you need anything, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for youth ages 10 to 24. So I wanted to do something to show our youth that they have options, that they can get help if they're going through things in life, and that they don't have to turn to self-harm, suicide, or other risky behaviors. Caleb's Kids was started in 2016 after I lost my younger brother to suicide. After he passed away, I really engulfed myself in all things mental health. And so in doing so, I learned how much of an issue it was for our youth. The workshops that we do, they teach the youth about mental health. So they teach them how to recognize when something's going wrong in their life, how something is going wrong in their minds and in their bodies. It also teaches them different coping skills. So how do you cope when something's going wrong? And when you're coping, if it's not getting better, it gives them the resources of where to go to get help.
It helped me to feel like just be patient, everything will be okay, and you don't have to like be sad all the time.
As you're creating your vision board, you want it to be something that represents you. So some of the things you can think of, in my former life, I worked in human resources, so the HR manager at like a Fortune 50 company. And in doing that, I focused a lot on wellness and morale and engagement. So oftentimes I would have to help my employees work through different stressful activities that may be going on either within the workplace or outside of the workplace, or even helping them work through some mental concerns that they have had personally, or even suicidal employees who have confided in me that they wanted to end their lives. So I had some work in helping those employees, but after my brother passed away, I really just want to learn even more about it to prevent it from happening. Because one thing with suicide, it leaves so many questions unanswered. So I wanted to just engulf myself in all things mental health so that I would learn, one, how to recognize when someone may be in mental distress and how to help them overcome. So with both of those, with my work experience as well as the research after my brother passed away, I'm still learning, but those are the two biggest things that have impacted how much I know about wellness and mental health.
I liked how Miss Keisha was really easygoing, and she explained thoroughly about how her brother died, why, and how it's important to talk about it. And she showed us examples of why it's important, and like who we can call, what we can do if we're going through things of what her brother went through.
The biggest aha moment is just the realization that our youth go through so much. There's different levels of trauma that our youth go through. And in the African American community specifically, like our youth have a higher predisposition to being exposed to some of those stressors that may cause someone to be depressed or have anxiety or have panic attacks or having PTSD. So that really has been more so eye-opening as I've really delved into all the things around trauma as it relates to youth specifically.
I am enough because I believe in myself, and I am enough because I know that the power to accomplish anything in life is within me.
It's amazing, like it's the best experience, and it will definitely help you.
think it's a good thing that she's so open about how her brother passed and why he passed, because a lot of people will sugarcoat it,
Right.
and try to make it seem like mental health isn't as big as it is. So I feel like that's good how she's just not sugarcoated. And I know like suicide is such a serious and like heartbreaking topic for some people, but it needs to be talked about. It really does need to be talked about because it's really serious. Like, I know some people, I don't want to hear about that, but you need to.
Right.
Because what if your child is going through depression and you don't know how to help them because you don't want to sit down and listen to what resources are trying to tell you how to help your child or your cousin or your brother or your sister.
Right. And I'm glad that they're talking about it with everybody, or at least letting people know that this is a serious thing, because the children grow up. You know, people only get older, time only passes. And so the sooner you can talk about it, the sooner it could be brought up, and the sooner it could be stopped, the better.
Let's play a little fact or fiction.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a statement and you decide if it's fact or fiction, and I tell you if you're wrong and why you're wrong, or if you're right and why you're right.
Okay.
So, are you ready for the first statement?
Yeah.
The first statement is 1 in 20 US youth aged 6 to 17 experience a mental health disorder each year.
I'm gonna say fact.
Are you sure?
You're making me not sure. Don't ask if I'm sure. That makes me not sure.
So it's actually 1 in 6 US youth aged 6 to 17 experience a mental health disorder each year. Ready for the next one?
Yes.
So depression and being sad are the same thing. Fact or fiction?
Fiction. Fiction.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You are correct. It is fiction. Feeling sad is a normal reaction to difficult times in life. Depression is different. It is a mood disorder that can affect how a person feels, thinks, and acts.
For me, mental illness, when I think about what it looks like and sounds like and smells like, it looks like me scrolling on my phone to avoid doing work, to avoid thinking and feeling, even though I just said it also makes those feelings worse. But it looks like me scrolling on my phone when I should be getting other things done. It sounds like the same sad song on repeat, the song that I know is not going to make me feel better, but I listen to anyway. It smells and sounds like shame, and it feels like staying up all night, dragging myself through the mud.
Mental illness looks like a baby demon. It is just full of a lot of like wants and needs that it might not know how to put into words yet. And just because you ignore it doesn't mean that it'll disappear. It's just gonna get louder and smellier and even more upset.
So my anxiety is like being inside of the mall on a Saturday in the food court, and there's at least one baby crying at all times, and I can't hear my own thoughts, but I can hear everybody else. My depression smells like dirty socks and laundry that I haven't gotten around to.
I think mental illness is sometimes the thing that makes me close to people. The struggles that I've gone through sometimes like make it easier for me to be in company and sharing my life with those around me. And then some days, especially on the bad days, mental illness looks like being very alone in silence and like a debilitating, like deafening sound almost.
My anxiety feels and tastes like I have a mouthful of bees, but they don't sting you. They're just so loud. I want to ask them to be quiet, but I know that they're bees and they don't speak the same language. My bipolar disorder feels like I'm going downhill really fast on roller skates. And there's cars that keep coming across. And I'm constantly scared I'm gonna hit the cars. But I also feel like if I really wanted to, I could lower my shoulder and I could go through the car. But I know that that's not actually how human beings work. Yeah.
I feel like mental illness looks like a wall, right? Too many times people try to go through it and then not realizing that, you can go underneath the wall, you can go over the wall, you can take 2 steps back and go around the wall. You could build a ramp over the wall, you know what I'm saying, and use it as a position to get even higher.
I love when they were describing it, a lot of them were like analogies, because it's really hard just to describe for everybody. Like, it's like, even if it has the same name, it's never the same for each person. And I like the guy at the end, like, he was like, oh, people don't realize there's other solutions. There's like other ways you could go about this. And so there's, not only the issue going on, but have you looked around you to see any other possibilities?
You never know what someone is going through. You never know what someone's mindset is. You just never know.
Yeah. And I think it was interesting to see the correlation about like how they started to lack interest in taking care of themselves or focusing on hygiene. It really gets you down. Mm-hmm. It really gets you down. It really puts you in a space where you cannot do those things.
Some people even struggle to even get out of bed, to even do anything the entire day.
And I like how they described it, because that also talks about the differences between being nervous and having anxiety.
Yeah.
And that anxiety is constant. It keeps happening. It happens even if it escalates or de-escalates, like it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really important that people understand that sadness isn't always depression, and being nervous is not the diagnosis for anxiety.
Yeah, people diagnose themselves a lot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm shaking my leg. I have anxiety, guys. I'm shaking my leg. No, that's not always the case. Just because you have one symptom of that doesn't mean you do have that. I don't.
Like, it's interesting because of that, because people like to self-diagnose. But if you are noticing signs, it is important to talk about. Like, if it's reoccurring and it's constant, it's happened more than once, you should probably go talk about it.
I feel like that's a problem too. Like, people are always in denial, and they're like, well, I don't want to be classified as that because I'm going to be different from everybody else, or I'm going to be treated differently from everybody else. And I feel like that shouldn't be people's mindsets. I feel like their mindset should be trying to get help as soon as possible.
Yeah, especially since it happens more often than people realize. Like, these symptoms, like within certain communities, people would check them off like, oh, you're just lazy. Oh, you're just tired today.
Yeah.
Oh, you just didn't feel like it. No, it's very often, very reoccurring, and I'm trying to talk to you about it, So some people would try to get advice from others, and it turns out to be what is not what they needed. They actually need serious help. So it is really important to actually go talk to at least a therapist or another friend you trust. Just, it's nice to have a couple people around.
Or try to get some tests done. Like, if you feel like you're having symptoms and people are like shutting you down, but something is wrong, don't worry about what everyone else is saying. Go get checked out. Go get tested, because if you catch it early on,
it'd be easier to treat.
Yeah, it'll be a lot more easier to treat. But if you wait years and years because, oh no, you don't have depression, you just didn't want to clean your room because you're lazy. No, that's not the case at all. Like, maybe, like, if I'm just laying, like, let's say my room is like dirt, like very, very dirty. I just don't have the energy to get up and clean my room. I'm laying in bed, I'm crying. Like, those are obvious signs that you need to get help, because if it's like a recurring thing, if it's just like one day, okay, like.
And if you lack energy to do anything else, like if you're lacking energy, not only just to clean your room, but to get up to do your homework, to do anything. Like if you lose interest, especially in hobbies, the things you like to do, and that's being noticed, oh yeah, you should get checked out.
When I'm having a bad day, I like to listen to music, calm down, or take a walk.
When I'm having a bad day, I like to listen to music and draw.
When I'm having a bad day, I like to play with my little sister.
When I'm having a bad day, I like to take a walk outside or hang out with my friends.
Talk to my friends about it or stay in a room alone and listen to music.
When I'm having a bad day, I like to hang out with my friends.
I like to call my friends.
I like to either listen to music or take a nap.
Listening to music is good, and I do the same thing. I just listen to music. I'll lay in my bed, listen to music, close my eyes. Like, it just helps me escape from the problem, like escape reality kind of. It doesn't really help me, like.
Right.
Kind of like when she said she likes to nap. It doesn't really, you're just escaping reality, and then when you wake up, you're just gonna face that reality again. Because if something bad happened at school and my first instinct is to come home and go to sleep, that situation's still gonna be at school tomorrow. So it's kind of like people need to figure out like how to address the situation instead of just like instantly like, oh, I'm just gonna go hang out with my friends and everything will be better. If you're talking to your friends about it, maybe they can like help you give solutions, but a lot of people don't really, they like to put all the bad stuff in the back of their minds.
What's gonna happen when you're having an issue and you can't take a nap?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? So it's really important to have other healthier coping strategies that you could release, that could help you release those type of anxieties and stresses, like working out and exercising, or like creating things, like turning it into a hobby, like painting, like venting through your art. And you could destroy that art. It doesn't have to be recorded.
Exactly.
But just expressing your issue through the forms of art and having different hobbies, that helps me a lot.
People need healthy balances in their lives.
Hi PBS, let's learn how to stay fit at home. Let's start off with some stretches. We're gonna do 3 hugs, pulls, lunges, and squats. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna move on to lunges. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now we're gonna end our stretches with squats. 1, 2, 3. Good job doing the stretches. Now we can start doing exercises. But what exercises? Let's jog in place and do jumping jacks. Count with us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gabe, I'm tired. It's okay, Jordan. We can all take breaks. Finally, we're done. Now we can do ending stretches. This will make us feel way less tired. And it will also relax us. That's right, Jordan. Let's get on with the stretches. We're gonna start off with straddle stretches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're gonna do arm stretches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thanks for exercising with us, Michigan Learning Challenge. It's always good to work out with a friend. Bye, PBS. We hope you can stay healthy at home with these simple stretches and workouts. If you want more videos like this, check out michiganlearning.org.
Oh, hi guys. My name is Ryan, and I'm here to explain yoga. Yoga is a physical activity I use to relieve stress and feel more relaxed in my daily life. The only thing you need is a yoga mat, but it's okay if you don't have one. Even times when I feel stressed out or upset, I find a quiet space and spend a few minutes doing yoga. It helps complete my thoughts and figure out exactly how I'm feeling. And yoga is good because I am moving and I can express myself in different ways, like slow movements or taking time to see what I am feeling, because not everyone can express as easily as others.
How do you think you would be able, like, do you think the way you handle school and homework now would be different if you were able to, like, learn these types of strategies when you were in elementary?
100%.
How different?
I feel like it'll be very different for me because, me personally, I never really stress about homework in school because it's just like, I stress about school. I'm not gonna lie. I don't stress about homework.
Okay.
But when I do stress about school, it's like, it makes me not want to do anything. Like, it makes me not want to do not one piece of work. Because I'm just like, I was so overwhelmed, and yet you gave me another piece of work. I'm not doing it.
Like, it's so easy to get burnt out. Like, people have limits. And so when you realize that you've hit your limit and you're using these coping mechanisms more often than you think you should, I think you should have been pulled out the yoga skills, because doing that from the get-go can help you recognize that and keep your stress level lower than if you were just to reach your breaking point.
About like 5th grade-ish, when they start talking to us about our bodies, they need to talk to us about our minds. Because we need to go into middle school and then, wait, what? We need to learn about our minds in 5th grade, 4th grade.
Yeah.
Do we need to help you?
I think it's important that they do start talking about it at that age, if not earlier, because everybody has feelings. Like, it's even babies, they have feelings, even if they can't express them clearly. Like, we start feeling at a very, very early, and the earlier we can understand those feelings and understand that we need something to deal with those feelings, and that we don't have to develop coping mechanisms, the better, the more well off we will be.
What brings you joy? Well, for me, it's playing on the game with some of my buddies.
What brings me joy is having fun and hanging out with friends.
What's bringing me joy is when I draw.
Something that brings me joy is playing games with my friends.
What brings me joy is sleep.
What brings you joy?
Listening to music.
Okay.
And drama club. Like anything to do with acting or singing, I'm hop on 100%. I love musicals. Oh my God, listening to like musical soundtracks and hearing their voices mashed together and like hearing like the different ranges. It's like music to my ears.
Like studying.
Like a symphony. Like, it's like, it just makes me happy because I'll be listening to Hamilton and I'll be listening to nonstop, and then it goes slow, and then at the end it's like,
nobody listens to music harder than Paige. Now we understand.
What brings you joy?
Great question. Drawing pictures, it's awesome. Like, I don't know. I just, like, creating something out of nothing makes me feel good. You know, being productive makes me feel good, especially if it could be used for a portfolio, especially if I could show it off. Like, I love creating. Like, it's a great way to meditate, especially since it takes so long. And it's a great way to like get what's on your mind out. You can express yourself in so many different ways. And then if you feel like it's just that good of a piece and you don't want to throw it away, you put it in a gallery. Like, it's just creating is just a great way for me to express. Checking in on others is helpful, and checking in on yourself is important too. Do something today to practice self-care. See you later.
This program is made possible in part by the state of Michigan and by viewers like you. Thank you.